What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the Intentionally Random broadcast, where the topics are intentionally random, but the conversation always intentional. So tonight we getting into something that people talk about all the time, but maybe in a different light. We always hear you got to sacrifice to get somewhere in life. You got to sacrifice to get some things, and that's cool. But let's talk about it for a real moment. Was it worth it? Like when it's all said and done, did that sacrifice actually move you forward? Or did it cost you more than you expected? Because not everything we give up leads to growth. And some sacrifices come with a bill that nobody warns you about. So tonight, we're not just talking about what we gave up, we taking inventory. What did it cost you mentally? What did it cost you emotionally? What did it cost you personally? And let's be real, would you do it again? I'm Anthony's, and across from me is the one and only at Tina Mo for show. And this is the Intentionally Random broadcast. Let's get intentional. Tina.
Hey, 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 how you doing there, Denise?
All is well. I can't complain. How you doing today?
Oh, I'm hanging in here. So glad to be here this evening. I see we got a few people in the chat miss today. See Sackcloth Queen is in the building. So glad that you decided to hang out with us today. Greetings and salutations and welcome to these Chapmans.
Hey
It's a
there.
little thin today, but it's nothing that we can't handle. So glad I know that plenty of people are able to watch the replay, because I
Mm-hmm.
know that there's another show going on that is just popping, and I might I add is very popular.
Mm-hmm.
Elevated Chills is going live at this point, and so where while I wish I could be over there, we know we
Oh
have a
yeah.
schedule to keep, and so as soon as we can get through over here, I know I'm gonna probably squeeze myself over there just to say hello and let them know that we support him as well. But we're so
Yes.
glad that that you decided to come and hang out with us, Sackcloth Queen. And we don't take it for granted that you decided to hang out with us this afternoon. So we most certainly roll out the red carpet for you. Greetings and salutations and welcome to these here Chapmans. Um, so how are you feeling, Anthony's?
I'm feeling okay. Ready to get into it. I'm
Yeah, I
feeling
feel you
okay.
right there. Ready to get into it. This is because one of these are one of those subjects. It's like, whew, it's a little heavy one right here, but I can say that it's well worth it. And that's the question that we're asking today. Talking about sacrifice as well. We want to have an introspective glance and really ask ourselves if the sacrifices we've been making, if they've been worth it,
Mm-hmm.
if it's been worth our time, if it's been worth our sacrifice, if it's been worth it to do the things that we've been doing for other people in different circumstances. And so we just want to look at that today. As a matter of fact, I would go as far as even in asking the first question as it pertains to if it's worth it. Um, we want to ask ourselves what were we gaining, what were we expecting versus the reality. you know um
Mm-hmm.
know that when it comes to making certain sacrifices, we think that, okay, if I do this, this will happen. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
we're fighting to keep a relationship. Sometimes we're fighting to keep someone else afloat, making sure that they're okay. But at the end of the day, can we really say that it was worth it at the end of the day if it didn't pan out in the way we thought that it would? You know.
Yeah.
Um. So I guess I want to pose that question. Have you ever been in one of those situations where you start out thinking to yourself, you know, um, this thing that I'm about to do is going to be a sacrifice. This thing I'm about to do for another person, somebody is asking some of me that I wouldn't normally do. Um, but have you ever been in one of those places where you expected one thing, but something else completely different happened?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I would say in reference to just like with work, on my previous job, like I made a sacrifice. Well, I made a
Mm,
sacrifice and went into a particular role,
mhm,
just expecting like one thing, just expecting to work this particular role, do what's required of me and then move right along. And then unfortunately I went into that role and it was not what I was expecting. It was a lot of time away from my family. I sacrificed like time with my family, missing different things just to keep up like with that particular position, and it didn't actually pan out like how I calculated it, I guess, in my head before actually doing it. And
mhm,
so with that, it be a lot because you do go in thinking, okay, I'm gonna do this, and you expect like a certain thing in the end, and then when that don't pan out, it's like now what?
mhm. I definitely understand as it pertains to being in one of those places where it's like, okay, and Lord knows I've had one of those jobs where I come to the job and you get one job description,
Mm,
but when the actual work gets done, it's like, wait a minute, I didn't know this is what I was signing up for. And
yeah.
I totally understand being blindsided by things that was never discussed. And there is always nuance when it comes to jobs. You're not going to know everything just from a description on a piece of paper, because a lot of things you just have to live. But it's some stresses that you don't expect, like, maybe your supervisor don't like you, or
Ooh,
uh one of those things where the coworkers are not all of what they cracked up to be. I'm like, and you find out it's the job. It's not the job in and of itself. I could do the job. It's just
right.
the people. A lot of times, and the sacrifice to be somewhere because the coin might be, 2/3 decent. You know what I'm saying? You might can
Mm-hmm.
make that money, and get the benefits in some kind of way, but it comes with the drawback of, oh, but I got to deal with the not so sane people. You know what I'm saying? The folks that
Right.
got they own hidden agendas and they have all kind of issues with people. And then next thing you know, you new kid on the block, somebody got an issue with you and you just got there.
Yeah, you like what happened here? What we doing?
Hmm. Yeah.
Definitely.
Um, which takes me to the question of, what was the goal behind the sacrifice? What did you expect in return? Was it success? Was it peace, stability? Was it love? Did reality actually match that expectation? And
It did not. I was gonna
mhm.
say, yeah, it didn't match that expectation, and I'm like, maybe I had little false hopes. I don't know. I went in thinking, okay, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna be running the company soon. That could have been
Ooh,
unrealistic.
mhm. Come on now, we think we gonna climb the ladder to get to the top and find out that it took out a few rungs of the ladder, huh? Sackcloth Queen said, I did too for my family. Worked really hard. Missed a lot of events with my children. Then something changed in me.
Hmm.
Ooh, and
Yeah.
that's something else right there. When it comes to when you're doing the best that you can and you feel like, okay, this is worth the sacrifice because I'm going to make sure that everyone has everything that they need and,
Hmm.
and all of that. And you think to yourself, I'm doing this for a worthy cause. But then it's like, and then you hate your own self at this point because of what you're expecting or what you're accepting rather from the situation. You're like, I don't even believe in nobody talking crazy to me like this. And here it is, I find myself bowing to a system just for the sake of trying to collect these coins, to make sure I'm able to take care of my family, and it can really
Hmm.
be demeaning at times,
Yeah.
where you feel like, is this worth it? I'm about to go to jail. And I'm like, no, don't go to jail. But
Right.
it's one of those things. I'm just serious, just tell the truth. That sometimes we find ourselves in one of those situations where it's like, who am I? Who did I become just by trying to hold on to this thing? And is it worth me holding on to? Sackcloth Queen said, I simplified my life, went part time and found peace. Isn't it something how when it's all said and done that you can actually do more with less?
Ooh.
We think that, oh, all I got to do is work these little 8 hours, give me some overtime. Oh, let me tell you something about the overtime.
Mm,
I was in the overtime trap
me
where,
too.
you know how it is, lifestyle creep and everything else, where you start working a job, them coins get to looking good, and for you know it, you don't never leave the job no more. You done
Oh,
enslaved
yep.
yourself to a whole working system. Now
Yep.
you working 16-hour days. Like, are you sleep? Do you sleep in it? And you could barely function at least at a peak pace. You're barely worth anything at home because you're pouring so much of yourself into an institution or into some kind of corporation of some sort. And I think about that, how much gets sacrifices. All praise it to the Most High Jehovah. I know that's right.
Amen. Won't you
And
do
that's
it?
the thing. Ooh, it's a blessing to be able to discover that I don't have to take it anymore.
Mm.
I don't have to stay in that place anymore. I do not have
Mm-hmm.
to subject myself, uh, slave myself out just for the sake of trying to put a carrot in a cup. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to put
Mm-hmm.
an apple in a bowl for somebody else.
Yeah, it's amazing to realize that after all you be done did, and you like, wow, you ain't even take all that.
Hmm.
You ain't even take all that.
Um, I got another question here about did it give you what you thought it would, or just something to survive through? Whew, child, when I tell you
Hmm.
that I found myself just in survival mode because you just trying to survive. Because it's not, let me tell you, living ain't 16 hours a day working. Living ain't
It's
10
not.
hours a day in some instances. That ain't no, and I know it's 24 hours in a day, but I need more of my time back. You know,
Yeah.
I need more of my ability to, the whole thing about work life balance. It's almost impossible when you have a full time job. And I'm not saying that folks ought to quit their job and be like, you know what, forget it. It's 2 hours, 2.5 hours a day, or it's only 4 hours a day and I ain't got to do nothing else. Because sometimes you do have to do what you have to do, and then it's a blessing to be able to find something that can supplement your income, with less hours. But I do always consider the fact that, hey, there isn't a balance all the time. And
I
I
agree.
have found myself just surviving working long hours every day, surviving someone talking crazy to me on my job, and I'm just there trying to hold on to it because I've gotten accustomed to living a certain way and get
Right.
entrapped, just by that, you know.
No, that makes sense. I was gonna say that is something to think about. Is it like a true balance? Because yeah, when you work, depending on like your actual schedule and stuff, that can be
Hmm.
a lot. You only have so many hours of sleep. Then in the other hours that you do have allotted, then you have other things you have to get done. And yeah, it do suck when you do have to like remain in a place, or you might have to stay in that place for a season, because ultimately that's what it's like providing at that time.
Hmm. And so, one thing that I could say is, at some point, you have to really consider, is the exchange worth it? Is your
Mm.
tiredness, your lack of sleep, your body aches, the mental exhaustion, the emotional exhaustion, is it really worth it? Um, what did it actually cost you? That's the second question we want to ask ourselves tonight. What did it really cost you? And you know how sometimes we could compartmentalize things so
Mm-hmm.
much so to the point where we're like, oh, it wasn't that bad. you know, uh, they just did a little cussing. You know what I'm saying? They didn't go all the way there. They didn't talk about my mama. They just said I wasn't worth a hill of beans. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
it wasn't that bad. And sometimes we will get to that place where we're accepting all types of abuse, when it comes to other people. They are going out of their way to um say all kinds of things to you just to get under your skin. And a lot of times just for a reaction. It's not even a thing
Oh,
of they
yep.
actually believe in the thing that they're saying to you. It's just that if they know that it bothers you, they just want to continue to do it, you know.
Oh, yep. I went through that with like an old supervisor. It was like she would just, I don't know what happened. It was like one day something clicked and she just did certain things, and I felt like she was intentionally doing things because
Hmm.
she had grown to know me, so she knew certain things like got up under my skin to push my button. And it was like she wanted me to give in, but I would not give in. Like I would not give in. And it took everything in me, like not to. But yeah, I did not give in. She wanted me to snap, but I ain't snapped because I know I would have been in jail, Lord.
Hmm. Yeah. And I definitely understand that. Sackcloth Queen said that part. We become accustomed to living a certain way and we collect so many material things. But at the end of the day,
Mm.
is it worth it? Ooh, we sure have to ask ourselves. I see Brit Family Fun, who we know as Yolanda, has come into the space. We're so glad that you decided to hang out with us this afternoon. We don't take your presence for granted, as always. We appreciate you for coming in tonight. And greetings and salutations. And we welcome you to these here Chapmans.
Hey, yo, Britt.
Um, But like I said, this one of those things. You have to ask yourself: Is it worth it? Is it worth your peace? Is it worth your peace of mind? Is it really worth the stress? And it doesn't even have to be a job thing. It could be a relationship. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Lord knows we could be holding on to people. They just as toxic as they want to be. If it wasn't for the fact that you was holding on and matter of fact, if it wasn't for the fact that if it wasn't so much familiarity, it's a whole lot of people. Some of us would just be, we'd have on the chopping block right about now. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
but we've been knowing them for 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years. And now that you in that place where it's like, but we have so much in common. And you find, and when you start counting the cost, you start realizing, what, we don't really have that much in common other than the fact we've been knowing each other forever. You know,
Yeah. You
they just
start to
been in,
realize that. You be like
yeah.
the only one putting in the effort or something.
Hmm. And it
And
tends to happen quite often, and a lot of times, Elon says, sorry for my tardiness. Y'all, I just got off my line. Oh, you're fine. You are fine.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, we just glad that you decided to hang out with us in the first place, child. And we ain't gonna be before you long. We just wanted to talk about the fact that, when it comes to us, making these sacrifices that we made, are we willing to really sit down and do inventory? Are we really willing to sit out and ask ourselves, was the decisions that we made, that we considered sacrifices, was it worth our mental health, when it comes to stress and burnout and anxiety? Or was it worth your emotional health, like your resentment, or when you feel emptiness, or on a personal
Hmm.
note, was it worth losing yourself? Was it worth losing your time? Was it worth losing certain relationships with the things that you had began to sacrifice? Because sometimes we could be like, the coin is better. I don't
Oh,
care.
yep.
We ain't got to be married no more. The children can starve, or they ain't got to see me. Whatever it is. Ain't nobody got to pick them up at the daycare. I got to go to work. I ain't stuff. They can walk home. You know what I'm saying? You can have all
Right.
type of things in your mind, as it pertains to the sacrifices that you make. But then you have to start asking about, you know, what is the bill that comes with the sacrifices that we made? And when I say bill, meaning what did it cost you?
Yeah, what did it cost?
What did it cost you? Did it leave you feeling fulfilled or did it drain you?
Mm. That's the hard part. When you think about it, the taking the inventory, looking at the cost. Because then that's in one of them moments again where you gotta do what? You gotta be 100. You gotta keep it real
Mhm.
in order to
Mhm.
really take the inventory and decide what did it cost me? Was it worth it?
Mhm. Yeah. Agree to disagree is in the place. So glad that you all decided to hang out with us today. We don't take it lightly that you have decided to enter into this space for a pair of seconds. Greetings and salutations and welcome to these here Chapmans.
What up? Agree to disagree? What up, bro?
Ooh. Yes, what did it cost you, Yolanda? Gotta keep it a book. I know that's right. Um, yeah, but that's something that you have to consider. What are you walking away with? What are you leaving behind? You know. And do you feel
What?
proud of what you left behind?
Hmm.
Hmm. Or
I ain't
do
gonna
you
lie. In that
resent it?
situation with that job, I didn't feel proud, and I kind of was. I ain't gonna lie, like low key a little. I was kind of salty because I'm like, dang, you go in with expectations and you do your part, and then when things don't work out, now you like, godly, not only did this not work out, but now the time that was invested, like you be done invested time, and even though some people don't see it like that, time is a lot. Like it costs a lot. That is one thing that you cannot get back. So then you start like, dang, I could have been doing something else with this, or.
Hmm. Yeah, because that's the one thing I can say is that when it comes to those sacrifices, you got to look up and notice what are you leaving behind? What are what are the things that now you have lacking? What areas do you have lacking? Because you're sacrificing so much for this one particular thing in your life.
Mm. Oh yeah, because when you sacrificing, you basically giving up something else, maybe from somewhere
Mm-hmm.
else. So it's like something is gonna be lacking or missing, or
Mm-hmm.
not being fulfilled. That makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. Wow.
Yeah. And then the thing is, what you went after, did it build you or did it break you down? Like is was it worth spending all them hours at the
Mm.
workhouse? Was it worth when it comes to you building that business? Some of us are entrepreneurs. When it came to you building that business, yeah, you got all the coins now, but did your baby grow up and you weren't there for them?
Mm.
Do they now have a strained relationship because what you were trying to do, what you were trying to build took you away from them? When they didn't care nothing
Mm.
about your money, they care more about your presence. We have to ask
Mm.
ourselves these things. Did it build you or did it break you down? Did the thing that you were trying to put so much of your effort into eventually wore on your body, wore on your mind, wore on you spiritually?
Mm-hmm.
Like dealing with these trolls and stuff sometimes, where you be about to lose your marbles. It wasn't worth it though.
Oh
Was
yeah.
it really worth it to put yourself in a place where you're almost in a bad mood every day because you're going live all the time? Or you do you're doing you're making videos, you're dropping them every day, and folks is leaving some of the worst comments ever, and you can never see the applause. You can never see
Mm-hmm.
when the people are like, "Oh, you wonderful, you changed my life. Oh, I don't know what I would have did if you hadn't said that." You know how to be putting on the Ritz in the comment section.
Yeah.
Zach Clark said it perfectly. Time you can't get back.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yolanda said, I had a moment today with the trolls. I know, right? They sure be coming.
Oh, yeah, they be coming, but
Mm-hmm.
it's worth the sacrifice to keep it moving.
Right.
Cause then, yeah, That's a sacrifice, Yolanda, to keep going because hey, if you give up or if you let them win, then you'll be taking inventory trying to determine.
Hmm. Yeah, oh Yolanda, they be putting on the Ritz in the comments. And it's hard to, you know what? And that's the
Oh,
hard
like
thing about it.
salty,
You said what?
like being salty.
No, I
Oh,
mean like when they putting
oh,
on a show and act like you the best
oh,
thing since
look at
sliced
me,
bread, and
look
so
at
it's
me.
easy to dismiss those comments. Like sometimes people can be like, "Oh, you saved my life," and it's like, no, the people that's pulling the people after fire save your life. When you lay down and have surgery, and the people cut out the tumor out your body, they saved your life. All I
Right.
said was, you know, clock out early and get some rest. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it's no equivalent. And so sometimes you could think that what you're doing is not significant enough to listen to the positive things that they're saying in your comment section.
Mm.
The thing
Makes you think.
is, on the other hand, you got people that act like, oh, they need to stone you. You should be arrested for the stuff you saying to people because people out here, they got jobs, they got lives, and everybody can't afford to lead a job. You know how the folks will tell you all kind of stuff in the comment section.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, all in the Chapman's telling you that you wrong and you ain't worth a hill of beans because of what you telling the people. And instead of you looking at the fact that, oh, you're actually helping someone is actually
Yeah.
receiving what you said, someone actually understood where you were coming from. You zero straight in on the troll saying, you know what, you look like a hamburger with no arms.
Yup. That's something that yeah. I know that's another subject for another day, but that's something to where when things like that happen, we focus on. It's like we'll focus on the negative and we don't see the positives. You know, like
Hmm.
the good stuff. We only see like the negative stuff.
Hmm. And let's be real, did that sacrifice fill you up or leave you empty? Did you actually get something out of it, or it leave you depleted?
Mm.
You're doing all this working and all this working and all this working. You put in all these hours. You're doing all of these things. But at the end of the day, was it actually worth it? Did you actually get the return on your investment that you were looking for? Who you blowing at? Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all had to forgive me. I'm in the parking lot at the hospital. And so, uh, but yeah, like I said, but it's one of those things that you have to consider. Um, did it actually leave you empty? Or did the thing that you put so much effort into, did it actually fill you up? Because if it's one thing that I could tell you, is that it's some things, whether it's a job, whether it's a relationship, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, you said a hamburger with no arms is diabolical. I mean, they'll say anything in the chat. Say anything in your comment section. And instead of you seeing the people that saying, oh, you're wonderful, and oh, I get what you're saying, you look just straight at the one telling
Right.
you look like you smell like pickles. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh. The fourth thing is, was it a choice or was it a pattern? Do you find yourself sacrificing because um the thing that you're doing out of habit?
mm.
When you get to a certain place in life, do you automatically begin to do certain things? Automatically begin to sacrifice different things? Automatically keep certain mindsets or what have you?
That's something to think about.
What? I know you didn't pull up on me like that, did you? I'm sorry.
No, you
Yeah.
fine. That's something
I,
to think about. You good?
yeah, I'm fine. Don't mind me. Cause sometimes I'm over here looking at the people. They doing what they doing out here. I got to deal with the folks. I'm sorry. But anyway, hospitals ain't always in the best part of town. You know what
Oh
I'm
yeah.
saying? And
Definitely
so
not
I'm
my
over
best.
here looking. I'm like that
Making
now.
sure
If you,
taking the scene.
Mhm. Whew, which goes back to, like I said, is this a choice or is it a pattern?
Right. Is it a choice or is it a pattern? That is true. When you get to certain spots, then you start just automatically. doing certain things, and when you think about it, then it would be, it's a choice and a pattern when you think about it, because when you get to
Mhm.
that position you make a choice to participate or do it again, so then it become a pattern.
Oh, thank you, Sackcloth Queen. We greatly appreciate the time that you spent with us. And greeting, thank you for the time that you. I was going to say greeting and salutation. Welcome to the Chapmans. But we so bid you well and blessings to you as well.
Yes, thank you, TTYL.
Um, but like you were saying, when it comes to was it a choice or was it a pattern? One thing that I can say is sometimes things arise and you respond to them
Mm.
according to either what you're used to
Oh,
or you're assessing this is necessary for right now, you know. And
that
I
makes
think that's the
sense.
difference between the choice or the pattern. Because if you automatically, as soon as somebody calls you and say, "Oh, I got some bad news. You know, my check didn't come in the mail this week. Do you think you can loan me $700?" And it's like, no, I can't loan you no
Mhm.
$700. Or is it one of those things every time someone has an emergency, it becomes an emergency to you?
Mm.
You know, they come with the sad story and then it's like, what can I do for my friend? Or what can I do? That's my sister, blood thicker than water, you know.
Oh yeah,
And
I used
so
to be like that. Well, when people call, and then you feel like, because sometimes it's like, is it like, do you do it out of obligation, like
hmm
feeling like you obligated to do it? You know,
hmm
yeah, been there. And then you sacrifice, and then it work out. It don't work out how you expect, cause you be
hmm
thinking it's gonna be one way in the end, and boom, there we are again.
hmm Yes, indeed. And so when it comes to that, you know, have to start asking yourself, am I being motivated to do the thing that I'm doing because I'm operating from a deficit? Or am I
Mm,
doing it from a place of, I'm doing this because it is necessary for this moment? That I have a sober way of looking at things and I've been able to assess I can afford it. I can do this. This is necessary. I I'm willing to invest into this person without it taking me under. Did you do the proper processing about the situation before you decided to make that sacrifice? Before you decided to jump to the rescue? Because we could uh put on
okay,
our cape and go to trying to rescue people, you
real
know.
quick.
Yeah, because a lot of times when we're rescuing them, we're rescuing ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't put a cape on ourselves to be like, well, if I was in this situation, I would want them to help me as many times
Mm-hmm.
as I needed it. But it's like, yeah, but I ain't Jesus either.
Right, you can't
Now, if
save
you ain't been
everybody.
able to pay your rent for the past 7 months, I ain't gonna keep on shelling out $700. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? I ain't the bank. I'm not savings and loans, and I show like the mortgage holder. You might need to consider moving out. You know what I'm saying? You might need to find a cousin or something and go to get you a pallet somewhere and lay on somebody's floor until you can get yourself together.
that makes sense.
Daniel, just Danielle 365 is in the building. We're so glad you decided to hang out with us. Greetings and salutations, and welcome to these here chatments. Um, Danielle said, such a great point, Tina. Responding before assessment of the internal state. Anthony's, yes, sometimes it's out of your own need to please. Yes, indeed. Come on now. I see you.
Mm.
Mama done
Appreciate your
spoke.
pastor.
Mm-hmm. I'm so glad that you came into the space, Mom. 'Cause we roll out the red carpet, the black carpet, the gold carpet for you. Well, we might have to pull out the gold carpet for my mom. So glad you decided
Mm-hmm.
to hang out with us. Greetings and salutations and welcome to these here Chapmans. And she says, some people take your kindness for weakness. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. If they know that you over there and you shaking like a leaf in the middle of autumn, and you just barely hanging on as it pertains to your own resolve. They know that, you don't have any boundaries set. You don't have any no in your system. Oh, they coming
Hmm.
to run you over like a freight train. You know what I'm saying?
I like that. No, no, no in your system.
Yes. Yes. And sometimes when you haven't developed that no, people that know that you won't say no, oh, happy and happy belated
Yes.
birthday to Tina's mama. Come on here
Yes.
in this building. Her birthday was May 1st. Thank you, Danielle, for acknowledging her. And I was glad to see her today. I saw my mama
Oh, happy
today.
belated birthday,
Uh,
Mama J.
she was able to get her birthday gift from me. And so we most certainly appreciate that. Yes, a gold carpet, Yolanda. Mm-hmm. The purple one too. Uh-huh. Come on in there.
Okay,
And she
royalty.
said the red carpet for Danielle or the purple one. Look at it. She said, thank you. Oh, with the little the lovely faces. Happy birthday. Um, yeah, but like I said, it's one of those things that you have to consider. Like have you come to a place where you no longer trying to people please?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what you got to check sometimes. That's why you don't have that no. That's why you don't have that resolve of I'm not gonna allow a person to take me to this space because I've resolved that I'm depleted when I continue to
Mm-hmm.
allow people to take, and take. And it's not coming from a place of I have the ability or I need to do this. Because
Oh yeah.
sometimes you need to let the people go on and fall, go on and fail. I
Yeah,
do
it could
not
be a
have to
part of the
be.
process.
Hmm. That's their part of the
Yeah.
process. Their failure is the part of their process, not yours. It is
Right.
not my responsibility to hold up, to anchor, you know what I'm saying, to be the foundation of somebody's life. It's one thing to take care of children, but they can't be 75 and still be like, you know what, I need a little rent for
Oh
these
yeah.
next 8 years. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you gonna be paying rent till they unalive, till they go to meet them, until they start pushing up little daisies.
No, that
Anyway,
makes sense.
do you always end up being the one sacrifice? That's a question, right? Hey, we're taking inventory because it's not just about somebody else saying, "Oh, they don't got no boundary." Do you have any? Do you always be the one that's got to come to the rescue? Are you the only ones putting your cape on to run after the thing that looks like it's falling apart in somebody else's life?
If you
Are
do,
you
then
doing it out of purpose? I'm sorry, what you say?
no, no. I was saying if you do, then that's the cycle.
No, that's that cycle. Hmm. Are you doing it out of purpose or pressure, fear, or habit? Are you
Mm.
over giving in situations that don't pour back into you? These are things we got to ask ourselves. Because at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, you need to search your own heart. You need to check out, hey, am I doing this because I want this person to like me? I need to be validated. So I got to do all that I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, let's be
Mm-hmm.
honest. Sometimes we do these things because there is a deficit in ourselves. It ain't got nothing to do with the fact that Charlie ain't able to pay to put some gas in a car. You know, Sideshow Bob wasn't able to, and go and get them something that they needed or whatever. A lot of times it has more so to do with the fact that I want what I'm doing for someone else. Maybe if I sow such
Mm-hmm.
and such into their life, and somebody will do it for me. Which I do understand
Mm.
that concept, which brings God in it. Did the Lord tell you to do that?
Right.
Did He
Most
lay that
times we
on your
cover that.
heart, or is that coming from a different place?
Right. When you think about it. Because if you consult with him, then he probably tell you don't do it and you won't be doing it.
Sometimes we feel the resistance and we run it over anyway.
Mm. Saying like ignoring what he tell you, what he say.
What you say?
I said when you say we feel the resistance, so it's him. telling us, and we like, okay, we're gonna go ahead and go. Excuse me, we're
Mm,
gonna go ahead and go left anyways.
yes, indeed.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. Or what if it's the thing and you tired? You're tired. Do you have to be the one that go get the people all the time?
Mm.
At what point do you rest? At what point do you respect your own Sabbath? Uh-oh. Lord, I feel like I'm in somebody's business. Joyce
That's the
Wood said,
inventory moment.
some people you teach them to fish, but they still have their hands out. Well,
Hmm.
are you doing it out of purpose or pressure? Come on.
Oh.
This lady said, not shot sideshow Bob. That's a fact. Yes, sir. Ask the Lord. Do you got some business doing this in the first place? Word. Did the Lord tell you to do that? Everything that seems good is not good, which
Mm.
takes me to that scripture. There is a way that seemeth right unto a man. I don't care nothing about the people that don't like to hear no scriptures. Hey,
Hmm.
it's intentionally random. We randomly put scriptures in here. But
Hello.
there is a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of destruction. And some
Mm.
of it are the ways of unalignment. You over there stressing yourself out, having you a stroke, a heart attack. You know what I'm saying? You over there unaliving yourself because you done ran and put your cape on for somebody that ain't studying your cape, your effort, your sacrifice, or nothing else. And when you get through with your sacrifice, they looking for somebody else to do the same thing that you do.
Yep.
And you didn't
Sacrificing
seek to
yourself.
get no kind of guidance, no kind of understanding. Trust in the Lord with your whole heart. Lean not to your own understanding. Sometimes we don't understand why this not a good idea to keep giving to, crackhead Annie. It's
Yeah,
not a
but
good
he do.
idea to keep giving to the feed the children fund. Them children ain't being fed. Them folks is over there gambling at the casino with them funds. They're not being good stewards in their own life. That's why you don't
Right.
need to do it. But you don't know that because you got to hang up on the inside of you that says, if I don't do this, they're going to hate me.
Mm-hmm. That go back to them feeling like you got when you feel like that,
Mm.
then it's like a force. When you
Yes.
have that inside feeling, then that's what forces you to do it, which it then, like I said, becomes the pattern. So you
Hmm.
sacrificing yourself. You sacrificing,
Hmm.
you.
Agree to disagree says, do it out of love and not for a return on investment. And you know what? A lot of times we could be buying things from people, buying their
Mm.
affection, buying their, hey, if I scratch your back, you'll scratch mine later. So are you doing what you're doing from a pure place?
Mm. That's something to think about. Because if you doing it from a pure place, then I feel, in my opinion, if we do stuff like from a pure place, then some of the things that later on happen wouldn't happen. Like if we doing it from a pure place, if it's not returned, then we won't have like resentment, or we won't feel a certain type of way. If we don't get it, thank you, or if we don't get it back, if it's from a
Mm,
pure place.
look what she's speaking to it right now.
Oh, I didn't even
Dan-
see it. I'm sorry.
Danielle said, when you do it for a return on investment, that taints the motive. Strange fire
Mm,
seeds with weeds. Who
mm.
is it that you want to bless you when you giving up the thing that you're giving up? The person
Oh, the Lord.
or the Lord? Which can come at any given direction and can come with abundance.
Mm-hmm.
What's
And
your
not
motive?
necessarily from the person that you giving to, right?
Are you just trying to look like a big shot in somebody else's life?
Mm.
Are you trying to look like you all that in a bag of chips? B- Now you already got your reward.
Mm.
Your motive just got you your reward.
Whoa. That's
I'm
deep.
just
Your
saying.
motive just got you your reward.
At what point do we stop calling it sacrifice and start calling it a cycle?
At that point right there, when you realize, okay, we keep doing this, and it's yielding this.
Mm. I mean, and I must admit that there are times where I have to question the motives of why I'm doing something,
Mm.
because it's the thing of what is this yes attached to? What is my yes
Mm.
attached to? Is it attached to the fact that I know that or if I have in my mind, if I don't do it, it won't get done? Hero complex.
Mm.
Hero complex. You
Whoa.
know. And it's like, since when do you have to be the all in all, the all sufficient one? No, I don't got to be the all of nothing in somebody else's life.
True. That
Um,
hero complex come with a little bit of pride, you think?
I ain't no little bit.
A lot.
Most certainly.
Okay.
I don't know what is going on. Okay, there it is. Now it's highlighting. Be delivered from cycles. Cycle or sacrifice. Call a spade a spade. Yeah.
Ooh.
Mm. Ooh. Was
Cycle of
it?
sacrifice.
Mm-hmm. Lastly, was it worth it? And what are you doing differently? Sometimes one of the most sobering things that you could do is begin to ask yourself, since the things that I've been doing has not been coming from a pure place, or that's causing me to sacrifice in a way that's causing me harm to my health, whether that health be mental health, emotional well-being, or your familial spaces, is causing you to be something or do something that will affect, you in the long run as it pertains to your spouse or your children.
Mm-hmm.
At what point are you willing to say, I need to do something differently? Would you make the same decision again? That's something we have to take into consideration. Okay, I know this time, Peggy Sue said they was gonna pay me back that money. I gave them $300. Or I loaned them $300 because we in a mean economy nowadays. We can't afford to be giving away no $300. I didn't loan them $300 in good faith, maybe to a certain degree.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but would I be willing to put myself in that position again if I know I just gave them that my gas money and I didn't get it back?
Mm.
I just gave them, my lunch money or whatever for the next, month or whatever, but I didn't get it back. And while it may have only been gas money, I'm not gonna replace it, but and it may have only been lunch. I always got dinner and breakfast at home. But was it one of those things that you have to consider? Would you do that again? Would you put yourself in that kind of deficit again? Would you allow someone to come into your life and take from you without you considering your own motives? What did the thing that you did teach you? What was the sacrifice and the backlash from making those sacrifices? What did it teach you? What did it teach you about yourself?
Mm.
What did it teach you about how you see other people and how you operate from a place of your own?
Mm-hmm. What did it teach you?
Joyce
What
Foot said,
boundaries do you need to set next time?
hmm what boundaries do you need to set next time? You said a word right there, Anthony.
Hmm. Thank you,
Joyce Wood
Lord.
said that's the $1 million question. Was it worth it when you figure out then you have your answer? Yeah.
Mm. And once you have your answer, Mama J, then it's like, okay, now what you gonna do with it? Because we'll have an answer and we'll go
Mm-hmm.
right back to that
Mm-hmm.
place that we know we just came from. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
when you have your answer, what you gonna do with it?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Crystal's World is in the building. We so glad that you decided to hang with us a pair of seconds. We on our way out the door, but we glad that you came in anyway. Now, if you would be kind and rewind for the one time, it might find something that'll change your mind. But we're so glad that you decided to hang out with us in this space. Greetings and salutations, and as always, welcome to these here Chapmans.
Hey, CGs.
Yeah, um, she's speaking to the chat. Whew,
It's a
what
wild one.
boundaries? I'm sorry, what were you
No, I
saying?
was saying, yeah, it's a wild one.
What boundaries will you set moving forward? What are you going to do from now on? What are you going to do from now on?
Hmm.
Are you going to remain with the mindset that um I'm the only one that can do it for them? Are you going to remain with the mindset that um regardless to what's going on in my life or how I feel, I still got to keep doing this even though my health is at risk, even though, my body is breaking down, even though I need to lay on somebody's couch because they done drove me crazy at this dumb job that I been on.
Hmm.
Am I going to set some boundaries and say, no, I want my life back? And then ask yourself, what is actually worth sacrificing for now? Are you all sacrificed out when it comes to
Hmm.
other people? Are you all sacrificed out when it comes to your time? You can't get the time back. I can't remember who it was that said that earlier. You can't get the time back
Hmm.
because once that time is gone, it is gone.
It is gone.
Oh, thank you, Crystal. She said I'd definitely be listening to the replay. Um, if it
But
wasn't worth it, don't just move on. Move differently.
hmm
We wrapping this thing up, just in case you didn't know and you didn't notice.
Please don't make me scream.
Because truth be told, we can see what's wrong with ourselves on the inside. We can say, I ain't never given them such and such no more. And here they come, with they puppy dog eyes and they sad story with the violins, or here comes that great opportunity for you to work until your socks fall off because another job opening or another opportunity for some more hours than popped up. How long you gonna keep working like a Jamaican? You know, no shade to
Hmm.
nobody that got more than one job. I ain't talking about you. But
We
what
get
I
it.
am talking about is, are you stewarding your time well? Have you discovered if it was worth it in the first place? Don't just move on.
Hmm.
Don't just move on, because what'll happen is you're saying to yourself, oh, I'm moving on. But in fact, in you trying to move on, if you don't change your behavior, you're
Hmm.
just going to do the same thing, just somewhere else. Anthony, do you have any closing remarks? Anything you want to tell the people?
I would say take the inventory. Take the inventory. Get what you can get from it. And yeah, don't just move on. You gotta move differently, you know? So the question is, was it worth it? Was it worth it?
Oh God.
What's wrong?
I was I'm trying to comment. I'm trying to read the one that's up. I find it. Joyce Wood said, if you don't take care of yourself first, You won't be able to help anyone else. That's why they tell you in an
Mm.
airplane, put the oxygen mask on yourself
Whoa.
first.
Whoa.
She dropping bars in here today.
Who
She
you
didn't had a
telling?
birth.
Okay,
Let me tell you
birthday
something.
bars.
She didn't had a birthday and get ten times more wisdom. Do you hear that coming? They're
That sounds
oozing
like
through
them
these
birthday
Chapman.
bars.
There's the birthday bars right there. I'm laughing at these. You talk about me, Tina. I'm tickled. Oh, but yes, you got to be able to sustain, to maintain, to breathe, to live yourself. Because if you don't, how effective will you be
Mm.
to help somebody else? I know that man, that's a preacher. I mean, I'm sorry. I didn't get distracted. I keep telling y'all I'm somewhere in the public. I just happen to be in the car. Um, but Lord Jesus, the saints is marching in. Um, but one thing that I can tell you is it pertains to moving differently. Is this at some point you got to make sure that you are listening for wisdom in
Mm-hmm.
how you move forward. And I must quote this scripture, Proverbs 3 and 5 through 6.
Mm-hmm.
Trust in the Lord with all
Mm.
your heart. Lean not unto your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. He'll make your paths straight. He'll make it to where you're able to understand the way that you should go. But if you keep leaning into that, oh, I feel like such and such,
Mm.
and you know how these feelings be.
Too tricky,
Yes,
deceiving.
yes. So all I can say is this in closing: don't beat yourself up about the sacrifices that you've made. Don't beat yourself up about the decisions that you've made as it pertains to other people. Allow it to be the lesson in moving forward. Don't beat yourself up because you done wore yourself out and tired yourself out because you done put too much on your plate because you done worked all these hours and you done worked all these jobs and you got more yawns and stretches than you do have refreshed moments. Don't beat yourself up about it. Make the adjustment. Be willing to ask yourself, am I really doing this because I need to? Or am I doing this because I just want to?
Mm.
Am I doing this because I want to? Or do I feel obligated because of someone else? Don't allow your need for validation. Don't allow for your need for status. Don't allow your desire for even a certain coinage to dictate to you who you should be, the sacrifices you should make. In essence, I'm saying be led by God in all that you do. From making sure that somebody else has a roof over their head, all the way down to do I need to take this 2 more hours in overtime?
Mm.
Do I really need to say yes to this child who been asking me over and over and over again, can they go over to their friend's house? Do I make the sacrifice to make them happy? Or do I recognize that I'm being so free with them because my life was so strict? We have to ask ourselves the questions. What is motivating your yes? And what is keeping you from saying no? Because in that, you will find the answers to whether or not your sacrifice is worth it. We appreciate everyone that
Amen.
has come out tonight. Was you about to say something, Anthony?
No, I said amen.
Ooh, do you feel obligated? I know that's right. Because if you want to obligate yourself to anything, it ought to be to obey God. Thank y'all for coming out. As always, we appreciate you for coming out today. Instead of living randomly, how about instead live intentional?
Mm.
God bless you and good night.
Bye.
Bye.